What is up, YouTube? My name is Alex. Welcome back to the Lifting Nomad. In today's video, we are in Mexico City, La Ciudad de Mexico, CDMX, and I just bought a big ass grocery haul, not a grocery haul. And I've been thinking a lot about it lately, meeting a lot of new friends and making new acquaintances down here. And it seems to be like a general consensus that a lot of people have a bit of difficulty actually staying healthy in their nutrition and food protocols while traveling. So I just did a big ass grocery haul. I want to show you how I eat to stay moderately lean while traveling. I've been on the road for almost 5 months now. Yeah, more or less. And I've maintained basically the same physique. I'm actually in like a surplus right now, so intentionally trying to gain weight, which makes it a little bit easier. But let's chat about what I'm eating, what I'm putting in my mouth, what I'm putting in my stomach. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, awesome. So, looking at the table here, there's a lot of stuff to, a lot of food here. And basically how I look at nutrition while traveling is, I try to, for me, traveling and eating and enjoying new cuisines is all part of the experience. I love to go out to eat. I love to drink while going out. I love going to a new restaurant on like a Friday or Saturday night, having a couple cocktails, trying some new food in a new neighborhood, new place, new city. That's what I live for, purposely. Like, I live my life intentionally so that I get to enjoy those things. So when I eat and when I'm training and when I'm living, it's all basically around that piece of it. How do I fit dinners out or in, depending on how you're doing it? And mostly in Latin America, that's in South America what I'm gonna be talking about today, because that's where I've been the last few months. The delivery is not nearly as expensive as back home, of course, but even that, it's, you can get delivery for like $5 in some of these countries for dinner, which is incredible, right? That's cheaper than you would be paying for an actual meal, home cooked. So, although of course you could save even more money if you want to do like $2 or $3 a meal to buy your groceries, but at that price point, let's say you eat at dinner every single night for a full month, that's like $150 to $200, right? It's just not that much versus the value and actual enjoyment you get out of it, as long as you're being smart about how you're eating. That's what I plan for, is every single day I'm either wrapping in dinner or I'm going out to a new restaurant in my neighborhood to try. Currently I'm in, like I said, Mexico City in the Condesa neighborhood, very close to Roma Norte, so kind of in the northeast part of Condesa. And there's a ton of restaurants nearby and taco, street carts. And street food here is incredibly good and incredibly cheap. Like, you can get an order of like 3 or 4 tacos for like 40 pesos, which is like $2 to $3. And they're incredible. So I usually try to go out, considering how accessible the food is here. I have in the past lived in places like Colombia, where it's not as easy to get like cheap street food close. It's also a little less safe at night walking by yourself. So I tend to not do it. But while I'm here in Mexico City, when I was in Argentina, when I was in Peru, it was just so easy to do it that I did it all the time. Peru actually is a little bit more expensive, and candidly, Mexico City really hasn't been that cheap. This is a very, very big grocery haul for like a week and a half, and it cost me almost 90 Canadian, which is definitely like maybe half of what I would have spent at home for like 2 weeks, let's say, but still fairly expensive. So let's go through with what I'm eating outside of dinner. Like I said, I'm always eating dinner out. So I tend to have breakfast at home. I actually didn't buy oats because I'm an idiot, but I usually make protein oats for breakfast, the exact same I make at home, with like protein powder that I bought from a GNC nearby. It was half the price of back home, made with oats, peanut butter, almond milk, and some frozen berries. I do the same thing basically 365 days a year, whether I'm training, whether I'm resting. It is just a really, really easy way to get like 40 grams of protein in, very cheap, very filling, and a good way to start the day that I'm super, super used to. So my digestion and my energy levels are extremely constant while I'm eating that breakfast. Now, I eat like right now, I would say I'm eating around 2,500 to 3,000 calories depending on the day. Like I said, I am in a bit of a surplus, so I'm trying to gain ideally like 5 to 7 pounds by the time I get back to Canada in May, with the goal of then cutting down, doing like May, June for the summer. So with everything else here, we basically got carbs on this side, protein in the middle, and fruits and vegetables on this side. Now, I'm excluding my frozen berries because I don't want them to melt, so they're in the freezer, but usually I have a big bag of frozen berries that I make my protein oats with. Then pretty much what I make for the rest of my meals is very, very similar. You know, I've got bread for my carb sources. Obviously, we're in Mexico, so you can get tons of tortillas for like really, really cheap Lots of carbs, lots of protein, and lots of fiber in these. Condiments, I usually use like hot sauce. This is light mayonnaise as I'm making. Lettuce here actually isn't too expensive for a change, so I'm making like breakfast or lunch sandwiches, like lunch meat sandwiches. That's one of the big things I think price point wise down in South America and Latin America, even in Europe when I was in Portugal, lunch meat is very, very cheap and very affordable, and still, you know, if you're getting like, this is pavo, pechuga clásica pavo, which is like turkey breast, maybe it's chicken breast, I forget which is which. I think this is gonna be chicken, but it's, you know, essentially for 100 grams, I'm looking at 90 calories, 17 grams of protein, and this is 250 grams. So basically like 1/3 of the package is like 20 grams of protein, and each of these packages costs like $2 or $3, maybe even $2. So, you know, you think of the price to protein you're getting for that, it's like 50 cents, let's say, for a portion, and you're getting 17 grams of protein very, very easily. So these I can make breakfast, you know, if I'm doing eggs in the griddle, I can just take a couple of these pieces, rip them up, put them in the pan, put them in with eggs, boom, I've got some like, you know, eggs, chicken and eggs for breakfast. Use some of these, like, this is rice cauliflower, actually there's rice cauliflower, broccoli, and carrot. Super, super cheap again, and you just put that in the pan, then you've got your vegetables for that serving as well. Really, really easy to get high protein with lunch meat down here, considering the price. Those are all my carb sources, so bread, tortillas, and then oats mostly. For dinner, I try to have like tacos or tortas, so again, similar, like some sort of bread, like tortilla, carb wrapping, and then wrapped around meat and vegetables. Same thing I have pretty much every meal. Moving on to the protein, we've got a lot of lunch meat, like I said. So I've got turkey bacon, I've got chicken breast that's already cooked. So the turkey bacon we have to cook, but whatever, I can usually, you know, make that in a pan with some eggs, not a big deal. I got quite a lot of this chicken breast because it's super easy to make a sandwich with like lettuce, mayo, bread, and this chicken. You've got a fairly cheap, fairly healthy lunch. Make like 2 of those and you're good. I've also got some of these are a little bit higher in salt and fat, but this is like prosciutto and this is like sopressata basically. So same kind of thing, toss them in a pan, cook them up, and make like eggs, or I could just do them like on a, you know, on a slice of bread with some mayo and lettuce. Again, like I'm not a very complicated person when it comes to my meals throughout the day. When I'm at home and I have access to like an air fryer, that kind of thing, and I'm you know, a lot more cognizant on my cost, that's when I don't really eat stuff like this, and I'll do more meal prep of like chicken breasts, steak from the grocery store that needs to be cooked, because of course, if it's not cooked, you're gonna typically save a lot of money. Keeping in the protein, I also use a lot of these sliced cheeses. Down here they have a lot of different kinds. These ones were reduced fat, so that's why I ended up going with them. Which, and you know, obviously is going to be less calories than non-reduced fat. Super, super cheap down here again as well for like cheeses. So I've got a lot of like, you know, that's some sliced cheese. I've also got some shredded cheese to mix up with my eggs in a pan. Just tons of protein. This is, you know, for a serving is like 30 grams, let's say. You're looking at like 100 calories and 12 grams protein. So, you know, mix that up with 3 eggs, with some chicken, with some cheese, with this cauliflower rice. Boom, you've got like an extremely high protein, like late breakfast, early lunch sort of snack throughout the day. Kitchen is right here. It's really, really easy to just put out in a pan all this stuff and then cook it up, so it's not a big deal, right? Then this is like a little bit richer. This is like a cream cheese, creme fraiche kind of thing that I just like to mix in with whatever I'm cooking sometimes. I'm feeling something a little bit richer. Then on to fruits and vegetables. And like I said, like really, really simple for my breakfast. The fruits I'll have frozen berries mixed in with my protein oats, cauliflower, rice. You know, this stuff at home can absolutely rinse you. I think like $10 a package maybe is what I remember last time paying at like Loblaws or like Sobeys in Canada, which is like ridiculous. But here it's, you know, it's really affordable, and these are like tons and tons of nutrients, and like this is cauliflower, broccoli, and carrot, like, you know, super high value nutrients you can get from them. Again, lettuce here was actually pretty cheap, so I've got some romaine hearts here to make sandwiches, one of my staples. And then I'm getting a little cheeky with a package of pineapple. My friends are coming down this weekend. You know we're gonna be going out. If you know, you know. You know, you know about pineapple. And finally, I got a big old pack of 18 eggs. Now this here was like $1.50 for 18 eggs, which is mind-blowing compared to what we're paying at home. And of course, I'm fortunate to realize the price difference here in Latin America and South America, but while I'm here, I'm definitely gonna take advantage of it and try to get the most out of my protein, try to gain as much muscle and weight as I can. That's a good thing. Then when I get back home and being a little bit more cost conscious, I'm able to dial back the calories, focus more on my actual budgeting and spend less money on my food, but actually, you know, be more cognizant of the food I'm eating because I have to cook a lot of it more at home. That's kind of my diet. Very, very similar to what I've been eating in Argentina, what I was eating in Peru. It doesn't really change that much. And I'm trying to, when I travel throughout the winter in Canada, I try to gain weight. Technically, it's like the summer in most of these countries down here, especially Argentina. It's like the direct opposite of what Canada was. But for me, the summer is at home. And the reality is you're gonna have to go through phases where you're gaining weight. I've tried to be gaining and maintaining for a long time and being in a deficit, and it's definitely messed with my metabolism to the point where I had to eat like 1,500, 1,600 calories on top of 15,000 steps in cardio to even lose weight. So this winter, I've been taking a more proactive approach to reset my metabolism and just eat. Not be so stressed about my abs being like completely dialed in. I'm really concerned with like my training being progressive, my food being good, my sleep being good, and just enjoying life a little bit more. So I think that balance is important. So that's pretty much going to be the video. That's what I eat while I'm traveling. I'm in Mexico. This has been like, a really, really great experience for me to eat the street food that has been so highly recommended by so many of my friends. So I'm definitely grateful to get down here and enjoy that. But got some more stuff coming up over the next few days. Hopefully we can show you some cool stuff. But if this was useful, feel free to like and leave a comment section below. Always helps the algorithm. But that's going to be the video. As always, my name's Alex. Welcome back to the Lifting Nomad. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.